What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate it. We're about midway through December. The end of the year is closing in fast. Hope you guys have had a good year. I've had a pretty dang good year. If you guys haven't had a good year, let's all try to have a better year next year if we can. Today we're going to do another video on game hunting gone right. I think this might be the fourth or the fifth. I'm not sure. We have about 5 different systems we're going to cover, and these include Black Friday deals. They also include a couple of random pawn shops in San Angelo, Texas, that I happened to stop in about a week or two ago and score some great finds. And that's primarily where I go whenever I go into a big city. Yeah, the video game stores are great and all, and I'll hit those up, but most of the time they're priced pretty right near where the price point, or sometimes well above the price point, to be honest. But the pawn shops and the trade stores and all that stuff, they're really just trying to get rid of these things, so they sell them for pretty dang cheap. And most of the time, they don't look up the titles and they don't look up the real cost. They'll have a bin of, these games are all $5 a piece, and it's usually a gold mine. But that's my philosophy: is hit up the pawn shops first and all the little trader spots first, and you generally get better deals. But that being said, let's just get on with the video. I'm going to show you what I got. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Hopefully you've played some of these games. If not, maybe I can pique your interest to play these games. Enjoy. We've got Vanguard on the Atari 2600. This is a pretty fun but basic shooter. Let's check it out. This is Vanguard for the Atari 2600. This is a shooter game, and what makes it fun and different is the fact that you have to control direction the shot goes. It's not just forward and backwards. If you push up on your D-pad, it'll shoot up. Vice versa, it'll shoot down as well. So that's pretty cool because you can shoot in 4 different directions, but you also have to be wary of, once you start pushing that, you start drifting that way too. So you got to make sure you don't hit something as well. Bit of a challenge, fun game though. We got Kangaroo on the Atari 2600. It's essentially a platformer with a kangaroo, and you're trying to save a Joey. Hopefully he's not angry anymore. If you guys get that reference, you're the real MVP. Next up is Kangaroo for the Atari 2600. This is a platform game. You're a kangaroo going after your baby, and you have to climb these ladders, collecting fruit, all while avoiding, I'm assuming they're monkeys, who are throwing, hopefully they're coconuts, hopefully they're not poop. I'm not exactly sure. It could be either or. So this is your typical platform game, Donkey Kong, Mario Brothers, all that good stuff. It's fun. It's not amazing. California games for the Atari 2600. Lived almost 4 decades in California, and this is Fantasyland. I don't think I ever played a single round of hacky sack. I'm sorry, I guess I just wasn't cool enough, but let's check out the game. Next up, we have California games for the Atari 2600. Now you start this off by playing hacky sack. You can either bounce it off your foot, your knee, or your head. You got to time it correctly, and sometimes that timing is a bit frustrating, but once you get it down, you get some pretty high scores. From there, you move on to different sports, i.e. California games. If you're a perfectionist, you're going to love this game because there's a lot of minute things you can do to change your score. If you're not a perfectionist, you probably won't like this game. It gets boring fast. Me, I'm sort of a perfectionist, and, California boy, I guess I should be liking this. We have Egg Mania on the Atari 2600, and this game was really, really fun. This probably wasted more time out of all these games where I was trying to capture footage, and I just kept playing because it was dang fun. This is Egg Mania for the Atari 2600. This game is extremely addictive and fun. Much like Diner Dash and that one drinking game that I can't think of the name of it, these are hilariously fun and I'm not going to say difficult, but they're challenging games. You're a chef, I'm assuming. You have to collect the eggs that this weird bird drops, and sometimes the pattern gets very hectic, but I enjoyed it, and this one took the longest for me to stop playing while I was getting footage because I just enjoyed it so much. Do yourself a favor, try to play this game if you can. Dig Dug for Atari 2600. This is amazing. I've never played this version. I've only played the NES version. I'm very excited about picking this up. And here is Dig Dug for the Atari 2600. Dig Dug is a classic game that everybody enjoys. You got to dig around and you have to pump up these enemies until they burst, and that is how you progress through the levels. This game has been around forever and people love this game. I still love this game, but I've always played it on the Nintendo. This is the first time I've had a chance to play it on the Atari, and graphically it doesn't look good, but gameplay wise it's just as good in my opinion. It's a solid game. Centipede for the Atari 5200. Now I have a copy of this already, but it doesn't have the label and it's kind of old and garbage. This thing is pristine, and on top of that, it's got the insets in it already. I am so excited. When I saw this, I knew I wanted to get it, and then I found out the price and it was even better. The guy just wanted to get rid of it and I wanted to take it off him. Next up we have Centipede for the Atari 5200. Now I've played this before, especially in my Centipede video. This is a much better looking and gameplay wise much better version than the Atari 2600. My only gripe about this one is that the character moves too quickly and you really have to let go of your joystick before you want to be where you're at. If not, you'll kind of glide, and especially with that spider, you run into him a lot. As a whole, it is a great game, probably one of the best versions out there. Yeah, except for the very loose joystick feeling. That's it. I love this game. Next up is 1942 for the NES. Let's check it out. This is 1942 on the Nintendo Entertainment System. This game and Dragon Spirit on the TurboGrafx 16 are the two games that got me into shooters. Now, I played this game a lot as a child. I played the sequel, 1943, as well, but I like this one better. And I can honestly say that even today, this game is still a challenge. Still fun, still a challenge. Give it a shot if you can. The Adventures of Billy Bayou. Okay, I finally have my own copy. And before, I was borrowing a copy from a buddy, and I got frustrated with the game, so I gave it back. And now that I have my own copy, I can get frustrated in my own house and not have to give it back. So maybe finally now I can beat this game and satisfy Joey. Here we have The Adventures of Bayou Billy. Now, I've talked about this before, but this game is not fun. It is very, very tough. The original Japanese version was way easier and way more enjoyable. For some reason, they ramped it up when they brought it over here to the US, and it is a pain in the butt. And I've tried to beat this game multiple times, and it took me like a month just to beat the first level. I'm being serious. This game is so hard. I'm not going to give up because I hate myself. But be prepared. If you want to play this game, shave your head so you can't pull your hair out. That's my only suggestion. Gyrus for the NES. Another fun shooter. Let's check it out. This game is Gyrus or Gyrus. I'm not sure. I've heard it both ways. I like to say Gyrus for the Nintendo Entertainment System. This is another shooter. But what makes this game so different from the rest is that you are allowed to use 360 degrees of the screen. And the enemies come at you from all 360 of those degrees. So you have to match them and shoot them. It is a very fun concept. This game can be tough at times just because mentally you're trying to figure out what you're seeing visually, and it's a little hard, and you realize, oh, I got to go like a 360 loop. And that being said, it is a fun game, great concept. Give it a try. We have Strider for the NES. Super fun game. I've only ever played it on the Sega Genesis, so I'm excited to be able to play it on the Nintendo. Strider for the NES. Now, I never played this version before. I always played it on the Sega Genesis. It's a basic version. It's still fun. It's kind of, like a basic platformer, Mega Man, stuff like that. But you run around, you have a sword, and you attack people, and you jump around, and all that good stuff. Doesn't look as good as the next generation ones, but it's still fun, so worth trying out. I'm happy I got it. I'll attempt to beat it, and I probably will, and then I probably won't play it again, but I'll be happy that I beat it. We have Taz, Escape from Mars for the Sega Genesis. Now I have the original Taz for the Sega Genesis, but I didn't have this one. I'm very excited because this has the manual. It's got everything. It's complete. It even has the winner's instruction manual. That's not worth anything today, but it's pretty cool to have it. This is Taz, Escape from Mars. Now the previous Taz games on the Sega Genesis were very fun platformers. This one is fun as well. The only problem I have, and I have this problem still to this day, is that you have to use him to spin up like a top and then bounce off the walls while you're moving vertically to get to certain platforms. And it's a pain in the butt. You have to take some time to master it. Aside from that, the actual platforming is very fun. We've got Lego Batman 3 Beyond Gotham. I enjoy Lego games. They're essentially all the same with just different skins, but that's not a bad thing. It's a Lego game. It's about Batman. Can't go wrong. All right, well, this is Lego Batman 3 Beyond Gotham for the Xbox 360. And even though I have this for the next generation of Xbox, I bought this one because A, it was cheap, and B, I have the first and second one, so this completes my Batman trilogy. This is a Lego game. Doesn't do anything different. You don't play these games because they're amazing games with amazing gameplay. You play them because they're freaking hilarious. The characters are very nostalgic. You get to collect all the blocks and all that good stuff, and it's just a good time where you can laugh at a lot of the scenes and the dialogue. All right, moving on to the modern systems, we have the Atari 50th Celebration Collection. Now, I'm going to do a video on this one all by itself to show you everything, so we're not going to go too in depth, but let's give it a look. This is the Atari 50th Celebration Collection for the PS5. Now, this thing is absolutely amazing. They have games on there that you can play, the originals, and you can unlock games by playing those games and also going through the galleries. But the most amazing thing is, in fact, the galleries. It talks about the history of Atari. It talks about all the different variations and all the systems they have. This is just a treasure trove of information. And Atari fanboys like myself can't get enough of this. So get it because it has fun games to play. But more importantly, this is like a book that you just get to watch. That's a terrible example. It's amazing. We got Far Cry 6. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever played any of the Far Cry games. My personal favorite is Far Cry Primal, and I just love the way that game plays out. Let's take a look at Far Cry 6. Here we have Far Cry 6 for the PS5. Now, as I said, Far Cry Primal was, in fact, my favorite Far Cry. These games are kind of falling into the same thing these days where they have quick action and then they have scene and then quick action and then a scene and then they intersperse it with quick time events. I don't like a lot of that stuff. The game looks good, it sounds good, but it's a typical Far Cry 6 game. I bought it because A, it was on sale, and B, I've played the rest, so I might as well play this one too. We have Spider-Man Miles Morales. Um, I didn't really enjoy the first Spider-Man, and this one seems kind of the same, but we'll see. You decide. Spider-Man Miles Morales for the PS5. This game, like the previous one, it just I want them to be good, and I beat the first one, but man, it's just so frustrating. There's just so many things going on at once, so many different things that you can do that it's actually kind of overwhelming. Once in a while, I just crave a very linear, straightforward gameplay, but these games just throw so much at you that it gets confusing and it kind of gets frustrating. I know a lot of people love this game. I liked the first one. I never loved it, and hopefully I'll love this one. We have Dying Light 2. I'm a huge fan of Dying Light, the original, and I'm so excited to play through this one. I kept waiting for it because I don't know. I don't know why I waited for it. Okay. These days, I'm very worried about, especially with sequels, them just being garbage. So I usually wait till it goes on sale or I've watched enough people to play it. And I'll say there are a few negatives, but as a whole, I enjoy it. We'll talk about it in the video. Last up is Dying Light 2 for the PS5. Now, I was so excited to finally play this after years of playing Dying Light 1, just beating it over and over again. I've only played for about an hour, hour and a half, and I enjoy it. It looks good. It continues the story very well. But there's a couple issues. They rely too much on like this hunter sense that the character has, where you hold down the R3 button and you can see things. And I always never like that in games. Like, make things easier to see. Don't make me push another button to have this weird X-ray vision. Other than that, it looks fun. I can't wait to dig into it, and I'll probably do a review on it pretty soon. Well, there you go. What do you think? 15 games that span from the late 70s to the early 2020s. That's quite the list. Do you guys enjoy these games? Have you had a chance to play these games? Which ones would you want to buy if you had the chance? Go ahead and leave a comment. I would appreciate it. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want, or just share it. All that stuff works. You don't have to if you don't want to. I'm not pushing for likes and all that madness. But it does help when I see thumbs up and good comments. It makes me feel good about myself. Anyway, if you want to get a hold of me, you can at retrobengaming@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you if you have any suggestions for videos or anything else for that matter, for systems, for just information overall. I'll take it. Video game related, I love it. You guys take some time in this weekend before the end of the year to play a video game. It doesn't have to be any of these. Just pick a video game that you may have played before, or maybe you haven't played, and just play it. Have fun doing it. As always, be good people, be good to those around you, and keep on gaming.